What up, Gotham Guardians and Arkham Adversaries? It's your boy Trina's Wonder Wipe Sarah. We just got done watching the new Netflix film, Heart of Stone.
The movie essentially is Gal's character. She's a secret agent within MI6. And of course, she saves the world.
Well, I mean,
It's Gal.
It's Gal. When does she not save the world now?
Whatever it is, I can do it.
No.
Let me do it.
It's actually a pretty good spy film. Like, I didn't know quite what to expect. I mean, you knew Gal Gadot was going to be a badass, as, you know, she is in Wonder Woman, just about everything she does, even in Red Notice, which was a big film for Netflix. We all have kind of our ideas of what makes a good spy movie with Mission Impossible, James Bond, and this was pretty cool. What was your thoughts?
I mean, I really enjoyed it. It's not one of those typical, they try to make the woman, it's not a female version of James Bond or Mission Impossible. They kind of put their own twist on it, which I liked.
Absolutely, yeah. It definitely has its own style, and just what Gal's able to bring to it with a sense of vulnerability, strength, and they did a few things that are consistent with good spy movies, like a good opener. They throw you right into the mission. You don't know quite what's going on, and she plays this moment of where she seems like she's inexperienced and doesn't know what she's doing, and then all of a sudden a switch turns and she's a complete badass.
Right?
Yeah.
It's super cool. We did really like the twist.
I did, yeah. So many good twists, which once again, you need that for a good spy movie. A lot of oh my god, a big reveal kind of thing going on, and I think they did a really good job with that aspect of it. I loved even the opener title credits that they did. It was this artistic.
Right, it reminds you a little bit of a James Bond opener.
It does, yeah. It definitely, like you said, has that spy thing going on that puts you in that thing where you're like, yeah, this is a good start. I'm liking where we're going. In terms of the world building they did with this movie, in a weird way, the story felt like it was a sequel.
Right, the movie itself seemed like it should have been in the middle of a franchise instead of the beginning.
Yeah, it kind of just throws you right into this world where there's this secret organization, this global peacekeeping agency that, to me, kind of reminded me of John Wick. When you get thrown into the first movie, there's this continental thing, and here there's this charter group with this movie, and you don't really know a lot about it other than they have this powerful technology called the Heart, and it's really cool tech.
It is.
Just you kind of are thrown into it, and you're kind of trying to gather everything. So a lot of massive world building that I think if this is successful, they'll definitely take the opportunity to really expand upon.
Right, I could totally see them doing a prequel series.
That would be cool, yeah, to show how the charter was developed, the origin stories there, and obviously the sequels that are going to probably come with this movie. I felt like the pacing was pretty good too, did you?
I did. I felt like the pacing was pretty good. There was, the fighting choreography I think needed a little bit of work.
We've seen a lot of good fight choreography, especially lately with different films like John Wick, even Mission Impossible, and the James Bond films. So you're in a tough crowd right there. There's going to be high expectations.
Our bar is pretty high.
Yeah. And not to say that it's bad fight choreography, it just was not, that scene in John Wick, the fourth one, where it's just that overhead shot of John Wick going crazy. There wasn't anything that was kind of damn, that's cool. If there's one thing I would say, I did appreciate some other spy movies more when it comes to using practical effects and real stunts rather than using CGI stunts. Granted, they do some crazy, impossible things, but it was noticeable that it was they're using all CGI right there.
Yep.
All in all, I felt like at least the first and second act I really enjoyed. The third act wasn't as bad. I just feel like the world building and the setup leading into the third act was more intriguing and exciting than the actual end. All in all, a super cool film. What were some of the characters that really stood out to you?
Oh, I loved Matthias Schweighöfer's character. He's always a really nice addition to the cast.
Right? He's someone you're seeing him in a lot more stuff. I didn't notice him until Army of the Dead with Zack Snyder, but anytime he's there, I just enjoy his character. He's a bit of the comic relief. I thought the villain was a cool twist. Definitely exciting. I don't want to give it away because it'd be a big spoiler. The villain was really cool. A backstory that I was awesome.
Makes total sense, and it was really cool. Yeah, you
Absolutely.
did a really good job.
Especially when you have a villain that has that type of backstory and gives you the why to what they're doing. It helps me like enjoy it more because it's not just I'm just evil and I'm doing this.
Right.
It's someone who has motive that you can understand why they're doing the things and the levels they're going to. One thing I will say in terms of the characters, I loved the chemistry of the teams.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, the chemistry that Gal brings to her teams and the way that she wants to surround herself with the people that want to make the world better.
It just makes you, for a quick amount of time, you know, when you don't know these people, you're able to build a relationship pretty quickly because of how they're interacting with each other.
Yeah.
And I felt like
sense
the
of
fun,
camaraderie.
yeah.
You care.
Yeah, you care. And you can only hope for that in such a short amount of time with all the characters you meet in this world building that they're doing. General thoughts, what did you think overall of the movie?
I really enjoyed the movie. I think that one thing that I was missing was that cool spy theme.
You know, that's actually interesting you bring that up because I think I even said to you, or like you heard me mumbling it with a certain stunt happens, and I totally was like, ba-da, ba-da. It
Right?
kind of felt like it
And then
needed
that initial fight scene with Gal, all I heard was the Wonder Woman theme.
Well, that's just gonna be Gal, you know.
Right?
She is Wonder Woman, but you know, it's just one of those scenes where like I wish they had a good theme. I felt like the soundtrack was pretty solid. It was just I wanted something that was a little more memorable in terms
Right.
of a spy theme, but all in all, it was a pretty good soundtrack. I felt like I just want to see them expand on this. They did some really cool world building. I want the origins of the Charter. I want the sequel to this because I think they can go in some many different areas. It's gonna be a cool spy
They left
franchise.
it kind of open. I mean, they did. It was a nice closure, but I think they also gave it a little bit of we're leaving it open to see how it does for sequels.
Absolutely, yeah. So if it does well enough, I'm sure Gal and her production team will be getting right on to the sequel because this could be a really cool franchise for Netflix without a doubt. If you had to score it, what would you give it?
I think I'd probably give it an 8.6.
8.6.
Yep, I really enjoyed it.
That's a solid score. You know, I felt a similar way. I feel like I'll appreciate this film more, kind of like what I did with the first John Wick, where I was like, oh, this is a good film, but after I've seen all the
Right,
world
you've
building,
got a little bit more context.
yeah,
Yep.
it was like I love the first movie even more now. I feel like this is gonna be a similar film for me, so I'm gonna give it an 8.4. A solid beginning. Can't wait to see where they go with it, but a very cool new franchise potentially here for Netflix that we'll have to see what they do next. But let us know in the comments what you guys thought of Heart of Stone. I'm curious to hear your guys' takes. What would you like to see them do next? A prequel? A sequel? Well, let us know. Both? Why not, right? But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you smash that like, share this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. I'm your host, Trey, with his wonder wife, Sarah, and don't forget to tune in weekly.
Same bad time?
Same bad channel.